Ready, start. It directed that the X rope and certain items of clothing be sent for DNA and fingerprint testing, and further directed that the blood samples of the appellants be collected and matched with the exhibits. Upon examining the same, the Forensic Science Laboratory reported that no complete autosomal DNA profiles could be generated from the exhibits. Consequently, no opinion could be given on a match with the blood samples of the appellants. In effect, the only scientific evidence available was neutral as it neither connected the appellants to the crime nor corroborated the oral testimony. This is akin to the situation in Padman Vibhar versus State of Odisha, where the Supreme Court noted that the chemical examination report was inconclusive because the blood group could not be matched and therefore the last seen evidence alone could not sustain a conviction. Despite the inconclusive forensic report, the High Court dismissed the absence of DNA evidence as inconsequential and affirmed the conviction solely on ocular testimony. Such an approach is untenable in a case based entirely on circumstantial evidence, where scientific evidence is neutral or exculpatory. Courts must give it due weight to convict on doubtful testimony, while ignoring scientific tests is to substitute suspicion for proof. The Supreme Court has repeatedly cautioned that suspicion, however strong, cannot replace evidence. There are further doubts about the recovery of the rope. The prosecution claimed it was recovered from the scene, yet no independent public witnesses were examined to corroborate this. The investigating officer admitted that villagers were present during the seizure of soil samples, but none were called to testify. Such lapses diminish the credibility of the recovery and, by extension, the evidentiary value of the rope. In a nutshell, the medical evidence proves the fact of homicidal death but does not implicate the appellants. The forensic report is neutral, the recovery is procedurally suspect, and the High Court failed to grapple with these deficiencies. When the only scientific evidence available neither supports the prosecution's narrative nor connects the accused to the crime, it is impermissible to uphold a conviction solely on doubtful eyewitness testimony. The case of the prosecution with respect to motive is also tenuous. The motive alleged by the prosecution is only that the appellants sought revenge for an insult to their sister. However, no concrete evidence of animus was laid. In Kali Ram versus State of Himachal Pradesh, this court observed that where the evidence admits two possibilities, that is, one pointing to guilt and the other to innocence, then the accused must receive the benefit of doubt. Absence of motive in a circumstantial case assumes significance and tilts the balance in favor of the accused. Here, the supposed motive is speculative and there is no evidence that the appellants bore any grudge against a 10-year-old child. Another aspect that deserves careful consideration is juvenility. The appellants placed reliance on school records and a medical board report indicating that Najim and Aftab were minors at the time of the incident.